Today we'll be taking a look at a professional match of StarCraft 2. Joining me here on the map Babylon in the upper left, the blue Zerg, the infestation of the map. It is Solar. You'll see where I'm going with it. And on the other side, the bottom right corner, the red Terran, the salvation for the plague that is the Zerg. Here it is, Cure. It was a cure pun. Get it? Plague, cure. It was a stretch, I know. It was a bit of a stretch. Unlike this hatchery build from Mr. Solar. Solar, typically pretty aggressive, I would say, actually. He's what I would like to call a mid-game Zerg. Feels like more than most of the games I've seen Solar play. We end up in some kind of mid-game Roach Ravager play. Something you'd like to blame Dark for, but actually Solar, kind of a fan of it himself. And Cure. The lovable Cure. Idolized by few, beloved by many, and replicated by all, albeit unintentionally. Terran players, you ask a Terran who their favorite Terran is. I would be willing to bet, and I'm not much of a betting man, that it's going to be somebody whose name rhymes with maybe Maru or Byun, maybe. Just something along those lines. But those are the micro Terrans, of course. They're the ones that come out here, they're flashy, they've got way too many Marines and not enough else, but they make it happen. They make it work through sheer force of will. The other Terrans, though, because you can get away with not being a micro Terran. You have, on the other side of the spectrum, you have Cure, you have Hero Marine, those kinds of Terrans, where it's not so much their specific unit control, it's they have so much macro. They're just monsters at macro. Cure, though, he's really trying this game. He's got this Reaper so far. You do not. Cure coming out here, 0 kills on the Reaper, but a lot of damage, a lot of fear struck into the hearts of the Zerg. Yes, undoubtedly. Behind this, we're seeing quick 3rd CC, very typical of a TVZ build on Solar's side. It's a Zerg build, guys. He's got a bunch of drones. The Queen coming off creep. So confident, she doesn't even need transfuse to deal with you, Reaper. Pish posh, get off my Zerg lawn. That's right. Ovies sprinkled throughout the map. What will this game look like? What is in store? Things have been looking dreadfully standard, painfully normal so far. Why am I highlighting the starport here? There's a Viking in production. I love it. I love to see the Viking in production. An homage to the old Polt Viking. And if you remember that name, if you remember the origin of the Polt Viking, be sure to thumbs up the video. Like the video, of course. Yes. For Polt. For history. StarCraft. History, that is. Viking comes out, gonna start to terrorize these OVs. Solar, sending him just kind of to his own demise. Does he even get to scout? No, not really. Not even gets the scout off. How unfortunate for our Zerg player here. Still just droning up. He's got a Bane Nest coming along the way, so not going for any Roach related play right away. Unlikely to see maybe Roach Rab Infester. Then there's a couple ways that Zergs can go through the mid game of ZVT. Spore Crawler, Queen at the ready, Does not have enough energy to transfuse though. Cure gonna snipe that snipe that Overlord, excuse me. It's not sniping the Viking. The Viking's doing the sniping, more like it. And they both seem content to just kinda macro up, just taking their macro turns. It's a gentleman's match, no cheese, no proxy, no shenanigans. I'm gonna take a drink. You should take a drink too. Remember to stay hydrated, everyone. It's an important task, important activity. You wouldn't think we'd dry out so quickly, but here we are. Yes. 4th base Queens flanking, trying to get us around, but it's a little tough to get us around when your movement speed rivals that of a flying building. Yes. Over here, single ling, full of life, full of ambition. Now just ambition, really. But the Marine's gonna clean that up. The Vikings still being a nuisance. 3 kills. 3 kills on the Viking now. Total 3 Overlords, 3 Lings. If he loses one more creep tumor, we've got a game of 3s. I have to see them. Cure coming out onto the map now. He's got Stim finished up. He's got these 2 medevacs. There's that 3rd creep tumor. Cure just keeps on pushing though. Gets underneath the OV. What's the queen count up to? We've got 9 queens. No more on the way right now. Instead, Solar's gonna try and get some Banes out. Bane speed is a ways away though. And Cure has done his job of keeping these Hellions alive. He has not thrown away the Hellions. Is there an armory? There is no armory. No hope of Hellbats. No Hellbat transition to help out these Marines. Although the Marines don't even seem that ambitious on getting anything done anyways. Cure, he's playing this cautiously, carefully, I would say. He doesn't want to just rush in, lose all of his Marines, surrender his map control to the Zerg. He's controlled. You have to admire it. Bit of respect. A one-handed clap, perhaps. These Banes, oh, it was waiting for Bane's speed. Beautiful stim just off the edge of creep, though the siege tanks are set up to help against the Banelings. The Marine's gonna push forward here. Solar trying to wrap around to get us around here. Cure sets up the siege tanks. Oh, Solar not going for us around. Is he counterattacking? No? It feels like a surround. Hellbats are here now. They're here to try and protect the siege tanks. The Banes are going to roll up the hill. The Marines might bring as best they can. Queens pulled to the front line, able to deal with the tanks well enough, but then getting too close to the Marines. Cure loses both siege tanks, which means his time here is limited, but how much damage can he get done in the meantime? The Bane's trying to connect. Trying to catch up to the Marines. The Marines going to run far enough off creep. Reinforcements coming in now. Even the Reaper. The Reaper's still here with 5 kills. Ooh. Is this the original Reaper? It is. He has not lost any Reapers. Ling's gonna catch some reinforcements coming around. Getting the tank is a very nice pickup. Able to deny Cure a siege tank at this front position. Hydra Den has been completed. Lingbane Hydra, the composition of choice for Mr. Solar. Tends to be used defensively to start, but can leap up into lurkers if the need arises. Cure can't control himself. Gotta go for the main base. What does this do? What is it? What's the goal, maybe? Well, ideally, you draw some forces out of position, try and get some extra damage done. If the Zerg doesn't respond quickly enough, you can actually get some damage done in the main. Imposters, not able to worm their way into the medevacs. Solar is going to hold. Total drone loss is only at 4. Lot of Lings lost, though. Definitely a lot of Zerglings lost in that attack. Cure, though, the loss of the siege tanks meant that he couldn't just sit there the entire time. Eventually, Solar's going to have enough to wipe out the Marines. It's just a question of How long? How much can Cure get done in the meantime over here? This is good. Single medevac drop, drawing some of the forces out of position, which will allow Cure to try and get set up over here. Terrans hitting multiple places at once. Very useful skill. Advantageous in war, as Zagara might say. What's the Bane count? 22 Banes? The problem is having to go off of creep and Cure with a beautiful pre-split already. Not ideal to just sit in tank range, and he's actually just going to vacate the hatchery. Cure gets the hatchery, losing next to nothing in that attack. But of course, you must remember, Cure's been on this attack for a few minutes now. He does eventually get the base. Solar gives it up, instead moving all of the drones over to here. This medevac drop did eventually get taken care of, it looks like. And now, what's the plan here? Solar's getting his lurker done. Cure adding on the Ghost Academy. It's like they knew what was happening. Very natural steps up from Lingbane Hydra into Lurker, into Viper, Adrenal Glands on the way. That was a kill. Kill on that hatchery. Oh, there's the medevac. Makes its way into the main base here, causing trouble, causing havoc. Marine-shaped fires that Solar has to put out. He's doing it fairly well, though. The loss of the hatchery is by far the biggest loss. Having to lose that position. The Cure says, well, I have no reason to leave. I might as well just stay here. The real estate's going downhill for the Zerg. But where one man's trash is one man's treasure, real estate for the Terran must be going up over here. Get that creep to her. Solar, foolishly trying to re-establish his hatchery, expecting Cure to be gone, perhaps. This is eventually cleaned up in the main. I heard a Bane explosion. A Cure pumping out 4 ghosts at a time now, getting set up defensively, it looks like, maybe trying to switch the game into that defensive mech style. Blinding Cloud goes out onto the tanks, not going to last forever, but lasts long enough. And isn't that just the goal in life, my friends? Medevac going to have to vacate the position. This is a lot of Zerg here. Cure, I don't think I would chase them. A little bit of a split. The Bane's gonna roll in, try and make their way up the ramp. I don't think that's such a good idea, though. You're with an immaculate defense, not going to let the Zerg up into the natural. The siege tank spread here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Beautiful. Very nice. He's got 5 tanks. They're all pretty much right here, but that's where they needed to be. Cure expanding yet again. You can see the setup here. He's got his walls. He's getting command centers down. He's getting turrets built. We are moving, dare I say, into a little bit of a ghost mech style, it feels. Cure setting up defensively. He got the damage done that he wanted to, or at least the damage done that he's going to get done for the next little bit. Shifting things over into factory production. +3 mech weapons on the way. The Lurker run-by makes its way into this base. The SCVs, were they killed or evacuated? Looks like evacuated. Firing squad onto the Lurkers. The Ghosts doing their job. Immediately sniping off most of the Lurkers there. Ghosts. Ghost count 10. Spooky. A haunting number for sure. Unfortunately, most of their energy is gone at this point, which means these Lings may be able to get at least close to them. Blinding Cloud onto the siege tank. Banes trying to connect to the Marines. They are going to connect. Beautiful acidic explosion there for you Zerg lovers. Lurker run-by moves its way up to the top of the map now. There are no planetaries up here just yet, but the Ghosts on their way. No snipe needed. Lingbane Hydra trying to find a way in over here. Resources lost. Heavily in favor of the Terran. What's the play? Cure, it feels, his play now is just trying to stay alive. He's just trying to weather the storm. The bug-flavored Zerg storm, of course. He's getting Liberators, he's getting Thors, dropping mules left and right. Cure is just going to want to start trying to take the most efficient fights possible. He wants his army to be cost-effective, he wants it to have minimal losses, take out as much as he can, and just try and weather Solar's assault. Now Solar, on the other hand, he's taken these extra bases, he has access to that, he has map control. He's about to have, potentially, a nuke on the way. Now, what was I saying? So, Solar's plan. What should Solar be doing? With the amount of ghosts, lurkers aren't really that effective much anymore. He may need to go up into Broodlords. He needs a way to try and break this. The Thor count is still minimal, the Viking count is still minimal, but it is increasing. Cure is trying to preemptively counter the options that Solar could be bringing. What are you doing? Where are you going? Really? Up here? Huh. Okay. Shh. Sneaky, everybody. Stay quiet. Stay calm. We'll check on him in a second. Zerg attack over here. Nuke being called down on the left side. Solar is getting some damage done. He is finding his way over here. He does spot the nuke. It is going to land. Oh, the eggs. The eggs are safe. Larva, not so much. Ghost doing his job. Single medevac drop on top of the hatcher. You can't put Marines up there, though. They don't fit. They just slide right off because of all the creep. Getting into a good position. Losing the medevac means these Marines are now on a one-way trip. But they did get some damage done. Total of 26 drones. No, I'm sorry, 26 SCVs have fallen. 10 drones have fallen. That's workers killed, not workers lost. Big difference. Nuke number 2 on the way here. Cure says, hey, it's working well so far. I'll have a bit more, thank you. The army supply. Cure, you take note, he's only on 53 SCVs. The rest has gone to a massive army. 9 ghosts, 17 siege tanks. Cure going for the unbreakable form here, lifting the command center. Solar trying to make his way in here. He's going to kill off quite a bit of tanks before the rest of the army is able to show up. Unfortunately, not killing the command center. Remaxing, pardon me, remaxing with 96 Zerglings. Solar is. He's probably going to want to turn them into Banes. But if you're not killing bases, you need to be able to remax quickly so that the Terran does not replenish their forces in the downtime. You are making his way up to the top side here. He's got some siege tanks spread. Thor is here. Thor is gone, more like. Solar wiping that up. The ghost gonna come from the bottom side of the map here. And now Cure with the overwhelming army force. Gonna start to take the position. Not a safe spot for drones. Would pay for you to make a spore crawler underneath the command center, though. That would be nice. Cure's not going to give him the opportunity, though. Moving up the ramp, clearing the creep. Cure looking to be in a strong position. Solar's still got a bit of a bank, though. He's still roughly 3k in the bank. It's just tough to overcome so much army. The ghost count has dwindled down to 8, but he's still got 12 siege tanks. Solar Vipers. Just one, two. Just two Vipers. I don't think that's enough. Solar's gonna try it again though, moving in. Baneling's connecting with whatever they can touch. The siege tank count is just too high. The ghosts don't even really need to do that much. The siege tank spread is just beautiful from Cure. Setting up in this defensive style. I like it. Cure bringing out the plays. Getting some damage done in the early part of the game. Then transitioning slowly into this defensive style, a lot of siege tanks. And now he's able to hit multiple places at once at the 20-minute mark. The Lings are going to be able to clean all this up, but to the tune of another lost hatchery. Solar is losing bases, he's losing resources, and he's losing a bit of hope. The bank is getting lower. There's been no transition from the Zerg here. He's still just trying to get it done with Lingbane Hydra. And I'm a bit nervous for that. Yeah, he's got a lot of lurkers. But are the lurkers really getting that much done? How many lurkers has he? He's lost 9. Oh, I'm sorry. Almost 800 Zerglings. We're at almost 1,000 Zerglings lost. And now Cure, slapping a command center down next to the hatchery. Late game screenshot, of course. The lurker's going to be able to set up there a bit defensive, able to stop that. Moving in, bottom side of the map here, command center lifted yet again. The Banes, oh, the medevacs get them out just in time. Solar has lost his bank though. And now the Ghost moving forward, firing squad onto the lurkers. Ghost v Lurker, hold the line here. Solar inching forward. How do you deal with the Liberator? Lurker spines don't go that way, my friend. I just do not see Solar actually keeping this base, actually getting it done. Cure has just simply too much army. 142 army supply to Solar's 98. Solar down on money, down on larva. One last hoorah, it seems. Blinding clouds go out from the Vipers, the Ghosts in the back, the Ling's gonna clean up the tank at the front. Oh, he is gonna clean most of this up, but he's gonna lose another base down here. The Hellbat, surprise! Where did 15 Hellbats come from? Barbecue time. Indeed, taking out hatchery number 2. Solar losing the momentum at the top of the map. He's gonna tap out. Cure weathering the storm. Setting up defensively, surviving cost effectively long enough to be able to break out onto the map and deal with those hatcheries. Solar just running out of money at the end, running out of steam. A good match, a good long TVZ. If you enjoyed, be sure to let me know in the comments below, guys. Thank you so much for watching, as always. I hope you have a great day.